Chapter 16, Heavy is the Crown. 3 weeks after Vasily's arrest, you once again stand in Trystan's suite, watching him dress for the passing of the crown ceremony. Could you hand me those cufflinks? You take a pair of solid gold cufflinks stamped with the Drakovian royal seal and help Trystan fit them to his cuffs. Once you're done, Trystan captures your hands and holds tight, as if savoring the feel of you. Thank you. Happy to be of service to the King of Drakovia. I'm not a king yet. Trystan, let me fantasize a little. How often do I get to play handmaid to royalty? After everything you've seen in this palace, how can the thought of royalty still tickle you? Because I happen to like this royal? You step closer to him, lacing your fingers together. And I thank my lucky stars every day for that. Trystan squeezes your fingers and looks down, clearing his throat. I know you, and the others have booked your flights home, but you could stay with me, couldn't you? In Drakovia. I'm not naive, Chloe. I know you value your life in America. All I ask is that you and I remain together. Partners, lovers, whatever you want to call it. I can't lose you over this. Trystan meets your eyes with a fierce intensity. Trystan, we'll make it work. Even if I have to fly to Drakovia every other weekend. He relaxes slyly, drawing you into his arms. You needn't worry about the cost. I'll ensure you have a first-class seat whenever you want one. Just so long as you don't use taxpayer funds on it. We don't want you mired in scandal in your first year on the throne. I'll happily squander the family's entire personal fortune on you, especially Patrick's inheritance. He'll laugh as he leans in to kiss you, his lips barely touching yours. How sweet of you to be thinking of me. I'm always thinking of you. He cups your face, his eyes linger on yours, memorizing every detail. I don't ask this lightly. I've thought of everything, and I have a gift to prove it. For me, on your coronation day? Trystan crosses the room and opens his closet door to reveal an extravagant gown, its gemstones glimmer in the light from the window. I want to be able to find you easily, for you to know that you do belong at my side, no matter your doubts. You'll be too busy being crowned to look at me. Au contraire, looking at a vision like you will give me the strength to deal with the damned crown. Wow. That is a very beautiful dress. How could I turn down a gift like that? You don't. Now take your clothes off. Yes, Your Majesty. His fingers brush your exposed skin as he helps you shed your clothing and don the gown. You look even more beautiful than I thought you would. The bar was low, huh? The reality is just that high. His lips find your neck, brushing it with delicate kisses as he zips you in. A muffled roar from outside distracts you before you can return the kiss. What is that? The gates have been opened. The sound swells, becoming almost deafening as Trystan opens the door to his private balcony. You peer over his shoulder in shock. The palace grounds are full of Drakovians. They wave flags, hold banners in support of Trystan, their one true king. That's more people than I expected. Mother will be pleased. After all the chaos of the past few weeks, she was afraid the people would be sick of us. She underestimated how loyal her people are, and how proud. The rumble of the crowd clarifies into a chant. Drakovia! Drakovia! Trystan waves and smiles at the crowd before ushering you back inside. Trystan, they're lucky to have you. I'm not so sure. Don't let what Vasily said get to you. He wasn't wrong about me, Chloe. Doesn't excuse what he did, but I was lazy, irresponsible. I didn't want to be king. You were barely more than a child. You've grown so much since then. I worry that it's not enough. I may understand my duty now, but I don't love Drakovia the way her ruler should. Not the way I... Whatever he's about to say is interrupted by a knock at the door. Of course, duty calls. You watch with a heavy heart as Trystan crosses over to the door. Lydia waits on the other side, impassive as always. It's time, Trystan. Lydia holds out her arm to Trystan. He hesitates. Lydia, you've spent the last 8 years preparing for this day yourself. Do you think I'm ready? We've had our differences, but we both love our country. I think you will give Drakovia what she needs. Readiness be damned. I anticipate relying on your guidance often, and I will be there for Drakovia and for you, brother. Trystan looks back at you, nodding encouragingly, and he takes his sister's arm. Go on, I'll see you at the cathedral. Trystan lets Lydia lead him away from you, as you prepare to watch him commit his heart and soul to a nation you'll never belong to. When you arrive at the cathedral, the lawn is quickly filling up with nobility, journalists, and local celebrities. Chloe, over here! Ruby waves at you from the very front row. Luke and Margaret sit with her, with an empty space saved for you. Alice sits at Luke's side, her ears pricked forward. You weave around various guests to join them. Chloe, you look exquisite. Is it one of yours? I wasn't sure if you'd started designing again. She fondly touches your garment. This is the first piece I've been able to finish since Bass died. I'd been stuck, but when Trystan asked for something special for you, the fog cleared. You're my muse, Chloe. Well and truly. You should start a side hustle as a professional, Chloe, if it works for Astrid. Detective work is enough for me, thanks. You take your seat. This time the dais is only mere feet away. This is a serious step up from the commoner seats. That's what you get for saving the realm. I still think we all should have been offered a knighthood. So, that you could turn it down? Hell yeah, refusing a knighthood is so much more badass than being a knight. I was just about to ask where Mafalda was. It's a shame. I might have paid more for a night. You spin in your seat and are met by Mafalda and Uncle Tommy's grinning faces. Hey, kiddo, you look like $1,000,000. I wish we'd gotten the memo. I don't believe this. Why didn't you tell me you were coming? Because I so rarely get to surprise you, and the face you make when I do is priceless. And I figured the only way to get my staff back in the office would be to collect them from their royal holiday in person. You have the worst timing. We really could have used you 3 weeks ago. You 3? Tommy, Mafalda, who else? You're one to talk, Rose. Staffing has been a nightmare back in New York. Yeah, I glanced at my inbox this morning. It was not pretty. You have a stack of cases up to your neck when you return. We'll have to hire another set of hands, certainly. Your heart squeezes painfully in your chest as you consider the fact of Trystan's replacement. I don't know if I can solve those cases without my partner. Shh! Lydia's coming. The ceremony's about to start. The last of the guests hurry to their seats as Lydia leads the royal guards into the room. Lydia's chin is high as she strides down the aisle and takes her position beside the dais. Something like pride shines in her eyes. All rise for the last procession of His Majesty, King Maxim and Her Majesty, Queen Victoria. You stand as a quartet plays a solemn rendition of the Drakovian anthem. King Maxim and Queen Victoria enter the cathedral arm in arm and make their way slowly up the aisle. Each row sweeps into a bow as they pass. You lower your head in respect as they pass and take their place along the dais, standing in front of Lydia. Remain standing for His Highness Prince Trystan Thorn, heir to the throne of Dracovia. Your heart skips as Trystan enters the hall, his face set in deep concentration as he advances, the eyes of the country on his shoulders. Ruby puts a hand on your wrist, leaning in to whisper, "Why isn't he smiling? This is his day." It is his day, but it's a lot more complicated than that. Ruby shoots you a sympathetic look. I guess it means leaving a lot of what he cares about behind. You keep your eyes on Trystan as he steps up to the dais. He raises his chin, but doesn't meet your eye. "Please, dear Drakovians, dear guests, take your seats." You take your seat, gazing up at Trystan as King Maxim steps forward. 30 years ago, I accepted the crown of Drakovia from my father, King Pyotr. May his spirit soar. And it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve you with my magnificent wise queen at my side. But today, on my 65th birthday, it is with nothing but pride that we pass our great responsibility on to our son, Trystan. Trystan has proven himself to be a man of great heart and decency. I have faith that he will safeguard our fair land long into the future. You find yourself holding your breath as King Maxim picks up the specially designed crown and sets it gently in Tristan's hands. It's time for you to take your rightful place, my son. Thank you, father. Trystan looks at the crown in his hands, his voice carrying easily through the silent cathedral. These past few months have been a time of great uncertainty, shame, and mourning for our nation. A dark stain lies with our family due to Vasily Thorn's actions. He took the lives of not just Zorik, Dracovia's brightest legal mind, Sebastian Thorn, an unwavering patriot who paved the way for future heirs of Dracovia to be treated equally. He was also my brother. Prince Vasily misunderstood what Dracovia needed in a leader. But I don't. You let out a slow breath, trying to prepare yourself for the moment. Trystan puts the crown on his head. Plot twist, he most likely isn't. I'm just feeling like he's gonna give it to Lydia. The moment your relationship will change forever. Drakovia needs a ruler with tenacity, who values justice, understands our tradition, but looks to the future. We need someone who loves Drakovia above all else. Trystan glances at you, eyes full with meaning. I'm so proud of him. You force a smile and nod encouragingly as Trystan raises the crown and steps forward, setting it on Lydia's head. Perfect. Plot twist. Trystan denied the crown. I win. Woo. You raise your voice, cheering along with your friends. Trystan catches your eye and smiles. Long live the queen. Lydia turns to face Trystan and with shaking hands, her careful mask wiped clean from her face. What are you doing? What's right? You don't just belong in this family, Lydia. This crown was always meant for you. But I'm not a father's blood, Trystan. Doesn't matter, the act was passed. Then we can say our brother did us one very accidental favor. Let Vasily eat his words and let Bash smile upon us. You are Dracovia's future, Lydia. Trystan raises his voice, addressing the nobles gathered to witness his reign, and meets the shocked eyes of his parents. My king and queen, in the power vested in me and the act of heir equity, I pass the crown to my sister. Her love for Drakovia and its people and her ability to protect them from the threats at home and abroad will make her a fine queen indeed. Victoria regards her children, offers a rare, almost impressed smile. If this is your one act as king, Trystan, then your reign will go down in the history as the wisest. I told you he knew what he was doing. Oh, shut up. I don't like you. You've been an absentee father for all these people. A single tear slides down Lydia's cheek as she mouths a single phrase to Trystan. Thank you. She takes Tristan's scepter, raises her chin to look out over her people. She gives her first words as queen in a loud, clear voice. Drakovia, I pledge my life, my heart, my soul to you without question or condition. I will keep safe our people and grow our legacy. This I swear now and forever. The congregation echoes her words back in an approving roar. Now and forever! You meet Tristan's eye and smile. He returns it with the most radiant grin you've ever seen. You file out into the corridor with Ruby, Luke, Alice, Uncle Tommy, and Mafalda as soon as the ceremony is over. The guests streaming past you are abuzz with their own reactions to Tristan's decision. Second in line to the throne. I think that could net me another chance with Gregor. And suddenly I'm very invested in Lydia's good health. You heard it here first. You're here first, besties. King Trystan is out, Queen Lydia is in, royal fierceness is about to be off the charts. A sound decision. I don't always agree with Queen Lydia's views, but I've never doubted her dedication to Drakovia. The chatter fades as the guests progress to the banquet, but do linger for Trystan. Mafalda rubs her chin thoughtfully. Trystan continues to defy all expectations. Can I assume he's returning to work? Is that all you think about? He just made one hell of a sacrifice, Mafalda. We may need to give him an adjustment period. Please, we all knew Trystan was never going to actually stay here, right, Chloe? Before you can correct her presumptuous tone, a familiar touch alights at your elbow. How did you all enjoy the ceremony? Mafalda takes Tristan's hand, grasping it warmly between her own. You've done a lot of growing up, Trystan. I'm proud of you. So people keep telling me. What about you, Tommy? Do you think I'm crazy? Not at all. Hell, I'm relieved. The rumors I heard about your family. Still, you had us on edges of our seats. That was wild. And badass. Screw the aristocracy. Careful, Luke. I reserve the right to remain a little aristocratic. Trystan looks to you, his lips tugging into a nervous smile. And Chloe, have I rendered you speechless? Trystan, I need to know, how long have you been planning that? Not very long. I was prepared to take the crown, the throne, the life sentence, all of it. So, you did this on a whim, denied boundless wealth, fame, heritage for the vibes? But I wasn't thinking of that when I handed Lydia the crown. I was thinking of you, Chloe. What? Oh my god! How is this a shock to any of you? I'm serious. This is a lot. Chloe, I promise you, I am positive that what I just did will turn out to be the single best decision of my life. Well, second only to following you back to the agency and refusing to leave. Seriously, I mean, it's a good job, but... Luke, shut up. 10 years ago, I loathed the idea of taking the throne, but I accepted that it was going to happen. That was the way things were. Then 8 years ago, I was exiled for a murder I didn't commit, and I accepted that too. But I couldn't accept losing you. You didn't just accept it. You were right this morning. The responsibility of ruling would have consumed me and destroyed us. You glanced at the others, feeling heat bloom across your cheeks. That's not exactly what I said. Wait. Ruby was right about you two? I freaking told you! As Luke begrudgingly passes Ruby a nondescript Drakovian bill, Uncle Tommy tries to shepherd them away. I think this conversation is no longer concerns us. Why don't we go investigate the banquet? I would prefer to be firmly in the dark about any HR violations. Mafalda and Uncle Tommy laid the others away. Alice boops her hand with her snout before following after them. Trystan doesn't so much as look at them. He takes your hands, gazing intently in your eyes, and leads you to a secluded spot in the rafters. I didn't realize how relieved I'd be until you turned them down. You were a good sport about it, but you know this isn't the life you imagined for us. And frankly, in the last 8 years, it's not what I imagined for myself or my partner. Trystan rubs his thumb along your knuckles, choosing his next words with care. I am no longer Drakovia's darling, and I can't tell you how free that makes me feel. You did good, Thorn. Lydia will make a good queen, maybe even a great one. And I'll make you happy as long as I can for as long as you'll have me. Trystan releases your hands and cups your chin in gentle fingers. And before you invite me back to New York with you, you should know one thing. In fair warning, it could change everything for us. What? Chloe, I love you. No, really? I love you too. You do? I don't slum it in palaces for just anybody. He laughs and captures your lips in a passionate kiss. You tumble together back against the wall, laughing as your back hits a priceless painting. Maybe we should take this somewhere more comfortable and private. If you reveal a secret chamber right now, I'm gonna be very impressed. It's not just any secret chamber, it's one where I can lock the door and we can make as much noise as we like. Possibly desecrate the cathedral while we're at it. He jerks his chin to a stairwell not far behind you. You're reminded of another stairwell in another country at a time quite like this. I'm intrigued. And follow me up there and I'll show you everything. Celebrate alone with Trystan. We'll take this as far as we can, because you know how Pixelberry is in YouTube. You and Trystan sneak away as night falls over Drakovia, dodging coronation guests to steal up a turret in the west wing. Trystan opens the door with trepidation, as if frightened to show you this final piece of his soul. A secret tower, huh? The epitome of class and comfort. I used to come up here to read alone as a child, but right now the only thing I want to read is you. I'm all yours, ex-king. You see a flash of hunger spark in his eyes. He takes hold of your waist, pulls you in close, painting a searing kiss on your lips. His hands wander up and down your body as he kisses you. You feel the heat of his desire through the fabric of your clothes. Someone's eager. I'm just trying to decide how to rid you of all these clothing. Here, I'll eliminate some of the guesswork for you. Why not? I want to savor that look on your face for as long as I can. He steps back and smiles as he groans in anticipation. You like seeing me wait? A prince used to get what he wants, has to show some patience. I'd say it's a turn-on. You step back, swaying your hips as your hands light up the length of your stomach along the center of your chest until they reach your throat. You smile at Trystan as you bring your hands back down along the curves of your body, grabbing the bejeweled straps of your dress as you do so. Bringing the top down below your waist, you flex your ab muscles before taking Tristan's head in your hands and pulling him close. Gotcha. You've had me for a long time, Detective Rose. His lips brush yours, tasting of salt and heat. As you pull away, you lick a drop of sweat from his throat. Don't tell me all this firelight is making you sweat. Believe me, if I'm sweating, the candles have nothing to do with it. You relish how his gaze burns hot on you, admiring every inch of your body. If you're so hot and bothered, let's do something about it. Gladly. You both reach for his pants, fingers tangling in the haste to get them off. You laugh, and Trystan allows you to take the lead. You make quick work of the fastenings and gently glide the fabric down his thighs, kissing each inch of bared skin as you go. You fan your hands across his chest, making him moan with appreciation. Now that's more like it. Trystan lifts you by the hips and wraps your legs around his waist as he carries you to the other side of the room. He kisses you more sensually now and lowers you both to the luxurious rug at your feet. Plush. Only the best for the former king's lover. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see some candles that look like a fur blanket within arm's reach. I want you to use the candle wax. I always did have a thing for playing with fire. Are you sure you can handle it? I've taken bullets before. A little hot wax is nothing. Trystan grabs a candlestick and pours some wax on you. You feel a slight sting along with immediate cooling. His eyes lock with yours, and you sigh as the strong fingers knead the wax into your skin, spreading heat as he goes. You're enjoying this too much. You're making me wonder what this feels like. You drip your fingers into a pool of wax at your navel and then draw a thick line down his chest. You savor the small dips of his abs as your finger glides over his skin. Come here. You mark your neck with kisses. Your body aches for more pressure, more touch, more of him. I want you. Let's move up to those cushions and get a little more comfortable, You lie down on the cushions and take his hand to bring him down on top of you. The feeling of his body against yours is almost more than you can bear. You said you were going to give me all of you. I suppose I'm a commoner just like you now. You could always order me to. You cup his jaw in your hand, a mix of relief, hunger, affection swirling through you. Tell me what you want, and it's yours. Basically, this is where we're gonna have to cut off. You know it's YouTube. You know, Trystan, you're a big softy at heart. I don't know if you ever could have been happy ruling over such a pit of vipers. No, I really wouldn't have. I would much rather be watching you than watching my back. Watching me do what? Everything. You smile and curl into him, savoring a scent in the security of the feeling, his arms around you. You're sure you have no regrets? Chloe, I could care less about having a kingdom as long as I'm king of your heart. That's extremely corny, but I'll allow it. So generous, I should be calling you Highness. I like the way you say Chloe just fine. A few days after Trystan has abdicated, you make a visit to the beautiful walled cemetery just outside the palace. He leads you deep inside the grounds to where a white mausoleum stands on a hill. Inside, a marble statue of a woman stares confidently and defiantly back at you. The letters etched above the arch read, Countess Juliana Gregesco. Juliana, she was beautiful. It's a very good likeness, yes. He kneels, laying a simple bouquet of wildflowers at the tomb's entryway. I've waited 8 years to be able to visit her grave. I still have no idea what to say to her. You kneel beside Trystan and lay a gentle hand on his shoulder. Tell her you grew into the man she saw in you. He nods and takes a deep breath. Julie, you were the first person who believed that I was worth more than the order of my birth. I didn't believe you then, but I do now. I wish I'd realized that you needed more help than I could give. I wish I'd been drunk so much that night I wish I'd been able to save you. But more than anything, I wish you were here to see Drakovia now. I know Lydia will build. I think you'd be proud to call her your queen. Trystan kisses the tips of his fingers and presses them to her marbled cheek. I'm sorry I couldn't do more for you. A robin alights on the shoulder of the statue. Lets out a peal of joyful song, and Trystan smiles faintly. Not a nightingale. Do you think that means she's given you her blessing? If I believed in such things, I'd say she'd given us her blessing. She would have liked you very much, I think. You look up at her sculpted face, soft, strong, in equal measure. Juliana, I brought you a new trashy romance to read. I'll take care of Trystan, I promise. Trystan takes your hand. I have every faith that you will. You pat Juliana's statue gently with your free hand. Rest easy now, Countess. You and Trystan stand and walk back to the car a short while later. Passing by the flower-strewn grave you watched Sebastian be lowered into mere weeks ago. Trystan pauses beside it, setting a hand on the gravestone before continuing on. So what happens next? You're flying back to New York in 2 days, correct? I think I'll tag along if you don't mind being bumped up to first class, that is. Complimentary champagne and a fully reclinable seat? I'll survive. So, what are we planning to do when we reach New York? Well, Mafalda hasn't fired me yet, and you're certainly going to need a partner on your next case. You give a dry smile and open the passenger door of Trystan's borrowed car. I don't suppose there's any hope of being hired for a low-key case after all this. Not a chance. Congratulations, you solved the mystery, collected enough clues to unlock a bonus scene. Would it give us a peek into Book 3? A few weeks after your return to New York, you met up with the team at the drunk tank. Luke and Ruby played darts in one corner. Genevosi sits at the bar, chatting with Uncle Tommy. They all cheer as you and Trystan walk in. Hey, finally, we can get this party started. Are you implying we're late? I must have taught you before that royalty is always right on time. You cross over to the bar, setting a large box to the side of Genevosi's Manhattan. Ew, is that... Ooh, okay, Astrid Thorn. Take that back. The case is closed. I figured we could take one last look through the key evidence before I dispose of it. I'd certainly like to hear what you found. Get the bags off the bar, okay? I already see crusted blood and I don't want to near the taps. You chuckle and move the box onto a bar stool. A letter and a photograph are tucked to the side. You reach for them. You pull out the Queen's letter, rumpled with the fight at Lydia and Trystan's apartment all those months ago. What's that? A arrest order Queen Victoria gave to Lydia. She dropped it during her ambush on Trystan's apartment. And so ensued the longest and most uncomfortable travel experience of my life. I thought I was done for. From the sounds of it, you nearly were. Aval examines the letter. Her eyebrows nearly shoot to her hairline. In light of compelling new evidence, we rule Countess Juliana Gregesso's death a murder, and thus bring the matter to trial. This new evidence that was the confession tape in the letter from the Countess's mother read in court. That's right, orchestrated by Vasily the Snake. Don't call him a snake. He'd take it as a compliment. Call him a worm instead. That suits him much better. The signet ring Polaroid. You match the Polaroid showing the imprint of the ring in the skin of Sebastian's neck to Uncle Tommy. His own brother did that? His favorite brother, no less. Uncle Tommy clicks his tongue and shakes his head, passing the Polaroid to Mafalda. I've seen a lot of crime scenes and pictures in my day, but that might take the cake. And yet Sebastian's murder seemed to be the turning point for your case. That's right, Vasily got lucky when he murdered Nadja. The evidence was mostly lost or erased in all the chaos. I don't even know if we'd have caught Vasily if Sebastian hadn't put things together and turned against him. You would have. I know you would have. Agreed. Vasily wasn't a mastermind. He would have made some other mistake sooner or later. You look back in the box, your eyes falling on the items pertaining to Juliana. Take the bag containing Juliana's locket from the box and hand it to Mafalda. It weighs barely anything. This is the locket Vasily planted for us to find in Sebastian's desk. The guy seriously would sink to any depth. What does the inscription say? To my love. Juliana used to wear it every day when we were first promised to each other, likely in defiance of our arranged engagement. But then she fell for you. And returned the locket to Vasily. No wonder he despised me. Mafalda takes the locket from the bag and examines it closely. If he wanted to keep this his secret love, he should have brought her some real jewelry. All that money at his disposal, and he went with nickel. So he's a liar, a murderer, a cheapskate. Good to know. The whistle. Take the bird whistle out of the evidence bag and blow gently. The mournful song of the Drakovian nightingale fills the quiet bar. God, that sounds so sad. I get the teenagers are extra angsty and all, but this is a weird thing to give your girlfriend. I can see a certain romance to it. From what you've told me about them, they were star-crossed from the start. But it sounds like Juliana distanced herself from him when she grew up a little. She must have seen the truth. She probably saw exactly what Vasily revealed to us in time. Pure ambition and resentment. I still can't picture them as a couple. It defies all imagination. Jealous that you weren't the only thorn in her side? But Trystan laughs and wraps his arm around you. No, this thorn belongs firmly to your niece. Which reminds me, Lou, you still owe me 10 American dollars. I refuse to be financially penalized for trusting my friend when she said nothing was going on with our resident prince. Consider it a financial penalty for working in a detective agency and not seeing the secret relationship playing out under your nose. I'm just the tech guy. After a long second under Mafalda's gaze, Luke slides a bill over to Ruby. She beams. Doctored confession. You take out a small device and hit play. Tristan's false confession fills the quiet bar. That was the doctored version. I'd have never picked that if it had been tampered with. It's good, isn't it? The rest of us sure didn't. Even Margaret was halfway convinced if Luke hadn't caught that tape had been edited. I'd have been executed or locked away. Vasily would have likely been the king of Drakovia. Once Luke found the real recordings and emails between Juliana and her counselor, Vasily's little plan was undone. Let's not forget how Chloe and Margaret overthrew my hack lawyer. Feel free to thank me by buying me the next round. Or giving him his $10 back. The next round. My friend, you're never paying for another drink again. Neither is my lawyer. You certainly argue enough with me to become a lawyer. Thanks for the practice. My debut in court went surprisingly well. Potential side hustle. Oh, hell no. Stop suggesting that. Finally, you look over Vasily's arsenal of weapons. Luke recoils as you pick up the bag holding the garrote. Dude, there's still some of Nadja left on that thing. You're not going all Casper on us, are you? When would I have time to clean the murder weapon? Poor Nadja. Nobody deserves to die like that, but to have it happen because you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Most murders pan out that way. Hopefully she didn't have too much time to suffer. I knew Nadja. In her last second, I think she would have pieced it all together. The letter, confession, Julie's secret relationship. She had more of the pieces than we did. Why Why do you even have this, Rose? Don't the Drakovians need it for the case against Vasily? Drakovian laws are very different from ours. Lydia's already convinced of his guilt, so he'll be charged no matter what we do. And here's the weapon Vasily wanted to use on me and Trystan to fake an OD. I wonder what you'd all have thought if he had succeeded.
We never have bought a kiddo. There's not a thing anyone would ever show me to convince me you're crooked.
We wouldn't have been able to save you. We would have fought hard to clear your names. With the full weight of the agency behind you. I'm glad it didn't come to that, but thanks for having our backs. Always. Trystan rubs his neck and takes a syringe from you. I'm extremely tired of glitter showing up in all of our cases, Mafalda. Do you think our next case will be drug-free? I didn't exactly sign your last case, Thorn, but I'll take the note under advisement. Look at his dagger. You extract the beautiful dagger you found in the secret passageway. What about the snake thing, weapon? What about that? It should have ended up in there too. It was a fun little trinket. So this was Vasily's knife. If he'd been trying to frame one of his other siblings rather than Trystan, it would have been a good play.
Whether he meant to do it or not, he did send us straight after Lydia.
And then the twins, and then Sebastian, and then Astrid.
Vasily, Margaret, Patrick are the only Thorns we didn't actively suspect.
He's right, but I passively suspected Vasily. Margaret, no. Patrick, no. He was too much of a ditz. Among other things. You shake your head with a dry smile. I don't think I would have ever met a less trustworthy family, and I've dealt with the Mafia. Trystan chuckles and pulls out his own matching royal dagger, letting the snakes in the Drakovian royal emblem shine in the light. It's not as though the Thorns have ever been shy about our self-preservation. We're a proud family of snakes. Lucky for me, not all snakes are venomous. You glance over the evidence, relief pouring through you that your case is closed. Hard to believe our stint in Drakovia is finally over. I prefer New York, thank you very much.
I have to say, kid, I'm glad you found the bag. You gotta stop chasing after these dangerous cases. My heart can't take it.
My thoughts exactly. I have a few cheating a husband cases I'd like to offload onto you, Rose. As tempting as that sounds, I might need bigger fish to go after. Drakovia has spoiled her. Good luck getting Chloe to take the common cases now. Grin with a mischievous shrug. Speaking of your homeland,
have you heard from your family at all since coming back?
Margaret calls at least once a week. Casper sent a very cryptic email that sounded like he and Amiga were interested in visiting. I left that one unanswered for obvious reasons. Good call. Even Lydia called the other day. How's the new queen settling in? She's run off her feet with a never-ending parade of the most boring meetings you can possibly imagine, but she's loving every moment of it. How can you actually tell when Lydia's happy? Her threats to kill you become more whimsical.
Does she have the support of the people? There's a hell of a lot of placards with your name on it when we were there.
Ruby would know more about that than I do, assuming she's still reading her trashy tabloids. You can pry my trashy tabloids from my cold, dead hands. Lydia's so popular with the traditionalists and the progressives that their hesitation died down quickly. She's united Drakovia. I just wish her all the best in it. Thankfully, Drakovia is no longer my problem, my concern, or my country.
Alright, I get it. Case closed. Tristan's a free man and you're all home.
He sets a bottle of good whiskey on the bar, waggling his fingers.
How about something from the top shelf in celebration? My treat.
Nobody's gonna say no to that. On the house. You look to your uncle and Mafalda, swallowing a lump in your throat. Working this case without my mentors was hard. There were so many times I wished I could loop you in for advice. We missed you too, Rose.
Don't make me start crying now.
Fill the glass up to your colleagues. Trystan clinks his pint to yours, eyes sparkling. But my team, This team is the best team any detective could ask for. A mortician with a side hustle. Forensic analyst. An ex-hacker with a score to settle. Fight the power. Luke fist bumps Mafalda. Ruby takes an early sip of her drinking agreement. And a once disgraced prince with a heart of gold. Trystan reaches across the table, taking your hand in his. Ruby wolf whistles, roping in the others as your cheeks catch fire. It's so charming you think I have a heart of gold. My point is... What is your point? I don't think I ever heard you say this many sappy words at once. Screw anyone who stands in our way. Hear, hear. When you raise your glass again, your friends, your family, your prince lean forward to join you. Here's the good company. The best company. To friends, to future, and to the next case. To the next case. Thank you for playing Crimes of Passion 2. We hope you enjoyed the journey with Chloe and Trystan to the mysterious world of Drakovia. And we're probably never going to get a book 3 with that ending. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description of the video to support the channel. Also, join in other ways, and the whole 9 yards. Without further ado, I'll say the following. It's another book, case closed by yours truly as well. Been doing this, I looked at some of the choicest statistics, and 2,000 videos on my channel are choices. 2,000 videos. Think about that for a minute. Half of the work that I've ever done is choices. It's sad, I will say, with a little tinge of many emotions. We get a once in a while good book that we all genuinely enjoy, right? Most of us did enjoy this book. It's just a shame that a lot of the other books on this app aren't as great as they used to be. Some are good, but great. And unfortunately, this is one of the great ones, in my opinion. Something that I did genuinely enjoy. Something that had a mix of every little element that a lot of us do, in fact, enjoy. It's just a shame that Pixelberry has gone down the route of lonely 40-year-olds needing to read, as, you know, we were going to say to Juliana, trashy romance novels. How it feels, in all honesty. And I know a lot of lonely 40-year-olds who don't read the stuff either, so let me just put it that way. But it's the age-old, you know, kind of jab. With that being said, I don't know. I wish this app did better. I know their investors wish the app did better, but I wish this app did better. You know, they can really tell some good stories when they really try. And that's one of the things I wish they would do. Put in quality versus quantity lately. Everyone's boasting, no, they're doing so much for VIP, but in all honesty, look at the VIP books that are coming out, and then look at what we actually have when it comes to books like this, and it's like, I'm pretty sure we can all get on the same page when we wish that there were more quality books. Better art, too. When you choose a Diamond Choice, a lot of other apps now give personalized art for your purchase of a Diamond Choice, and this book does not do that. This app does not do that. And unfortunately, if Pixelberry doesn't change their ways, I think they'll be left in the dust. So, but I am happy that we were able to do yet another book together with one another. And it means a lot to me. Sometimes it can be a struggle doing this. We'll just leave it at that. So once again, thank you all for watching. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure, especially if this is the last book we ever finish with one another. I'll catch you all later. Peace out.